photos from the cupola of the ISS. What was the greatest change you saw on Earth due to global warming?
The greatest change I saw on Earth was the drying up of the fourth biggest sea in the world, the Aral Sea. Between my first space flight in 1995 and my third space flight in 2013, we changed that part of the world. Human interaction dried up the fourth biggest sea on Earth. And we did it because of human policy. So it's not necessarily just global warming, but it's climate change. And we need to be very careful and deliberate in what we do, because we can have a big negative effect when we're not careful.
Great. Okay, now here's one more question. Then we'll go to this. Having been in space a number of times, what one question do you still like to have answered about the universe?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question, right?
You've been in space a number of times and experienced the experience of being there. Is there any question in particular that you still have that you'd like to see answered about the universe, i.e., extraterrestrial?
Well, I think the biggest question is, are we alone in the universe or not? I don't know if we're alone in the universe or not. We still haven't answered that question. Maybe we'll be able to answer it soon on Mars or on Sirius or on Enceladus, but so far we've never seen any evidence. So to me, that's the most important question.
Here's my son, Brett. Commander Brett, here's his question.
It depends what you're doing. The purpose of a space shuttle, it's like saying, do you prefer to drive in a car or a truck? It depends what you're doing, right? The Soyuz is designed to take 3 people to a space station. The shuttle is self-contained, so it really depends what the purpose is. I just count myself hugely lucky to have flown them both. They're great spaceship.
Great. Here's a question from astronaut member Jesse. Go ahead, Jesse.
Jesse, there's a huge magnet on the top of the space station that is trying to teach us what the universe is made of. It's collecting subatomic particles from the universe and trying to figure out what dark matter and dark energy. It's called the alpha magnetic spectrometer, and I think it's the most interesting piece of space equipment on the space station. And when I was on the spaceship, I saw the highest clouds that exist. You can only see them sort of glowing in the dusk of the dome. They glow in the night, so they're called noctilucent clouds. And you can almost never ever see them unless everything's just right. And I got to see them from the space station. And they really teach us about the Earth's atmosphere and in fact about climate change. So I think that might have been the most interesting thing I saw.
Okay, here's the question for Dean.
The purpose of exploration is to discover new things and teach us about ourselves. I think the next step of the space station will be to the moon. And I would love to be involved in setting up the first permanent human habitation in the moon. To go from just setting up probes, like we've done so far, to actually start living there. That's what I'd like to do next. Hi, Mara. We didn't. We wore our clothes until they got filthy, and then we threw them away. Okay? Normally, Chris, I'm nervous when I don't know what I'm doing. Like when I'm not ready for something. That makes me nervous. So I try to always be ready for what I'm doing. And what that means is to study and to practice and to think about what's going to happen. And so that then when it happens, instead of just being nervous, because being nervous doesn't really help. Instead of being nervous, I'm ready because of practicing and studying and preparing. And so in space, I wasn't nervous. I was excited. I was extremely joyful, but I wasn't nervous.
Great. Here's a question from Melanie and Kristen.
I think I learned how to make the most of myself. I learned, given what I was born with, I think I learned how to accomplish most things that I possibly could as a person. And so it's interesting, you're in grade 10. I mean, what are you going to do with your life? And what are you hoping to accomplish? And I think it's a real gift if you find a way to maximize your own capabilities, to the things that you love, and the things that are important to you, how to make that part of your life, so that you can accomplish the things that you dream of. And in my case, to be able to do stuff that was right at the edge of the possible, and open the door for other people, to me, that's the most magnificent part of it. Well, it takes about 9 minutes to get to space. From the time the engines begin to light on your rocket ship until your engines shut off and you're weightless in orbit. It takes about 9 minutes. And it's extremely dangerous. And it takes a huge amount of work. And so, the moment the engines shut off and you're floating weightless, the biggest emotion, the biggest feeling is one of relief. You're relieved because you survived, but also because I'm sorry, I can hear you talking. You've survived, but also relieved because this has actually happened. It is completed. You're finished, and now the thing that you've been training for can actually begin. So it's a great relief of opportunity. It's the overwhelming emotion of rhythm.
Great. Question from Shannon.
Well, I flew in space 3 times. And the longer you stay in space, of course, the harder it is for you to readapt when you get home. On the first couple of flights, I just felt a little bit dizzy, and I couldn't balance with my eyes closed. But the third flight, I was in space for half a year, and so when I came home, I was extremely dizzy, and I couldn't stand up. I would faint if I stood up. So it was very hard on my body for the first little while. I couldn't balance, I couldn't stand up, I felt sick, all of those things, like you've been spinning on a ride.